Open Circles Meditations for Resilience and Balance. Shake it up, baby. I will begin with a short description of the benefits of the meditation practice, how to get ready, and some additional pointers. I encourage you to listen all the way through at least once, and then after that, if you'd like to skip directly to the guided practice, simply follow the timestamps found below in the description. Shake it up, baby practice can energize, increase circulation, and deepen or regulate your breathing. It helps to relax muscular tension, to decrease stress or anxiety, and it can lift the mood, especially when combined with music you love. To get ready, find a place where you will have room to stand and fully stretch your arms out and stretch your legs in all directions. It's also fine to practice seated in a chair if you're tired, have movement differences, or your space is limited. If possible, wear clothing that is not tight around your belly or waist, and something on your feet that you won't slip or slide in. Grab a tune that you love and put it on while you move. The goal of this movement practice is to help you feel energized, mentally clear, and comfortable in your body. Nothing should hurt as you're practicing. Be sure to move in ways that feel good and at a tempo that feels easy for your body. If you feel agitated or physically uncomfortable when practicing, please don't force yourself to continue. Take a break, rest, and try another time. Sometimes we need to practice a few times to get used to doing it. Sometimes an exercise needs to be modified for the person doing it. Let us know if you need help in making this work for you. I will describe this as if you are standing, but again, it's fine to start seated in a chair and modify for a seated position. So we'll begin by taking our feet at a wide enough stance that we feel stable, a little bit wider than our hip width, or at least at hip width apart. And then just rock your weight a little bit over the feet, shifting position. And coming back to the center, we'll release our arms down by our sides. And then we'll open our arms to the sides, lifting the arms overhead, inhaling the breath, stretching up above you, and circling the wrists as the arms come back down to the sides. And do this 2 more times like a morning stretch. Inhale, opening the arms, lifting, then reaching them overhead. When your natural exhalation happens, let the arms come down. And last time, reach them open and up. Nice, full reach to the sky. And let them release and come down to your sides. Standing upright, begin to tick-tock the head side to side, just letting one ear come toward one shoulder, and then moving to the other side. Little motions in the head and neck. And as the head comes over to the left side, now tuck the chin toward the chest, rounding the head forward and rotating it to the right. We'll do a half circle, so once it's at the right, we'll rotate it forward and back to the left. And do that a few times. Nice, full breaths, soft jaw. And then come back to the center and lift the heart, lift the face up toward the ceiling. And bring the face down toward the floor. Lifting and lowering a few times. And then bring the face back to the center and turn the head side to side like an owl, rotating its head, obviously not all the way around, but first to the left, then to the right, and back again. And then let that go and start to circle the shoulders, rolling the shoulders forward toward the ears, back behind you and down, circling at least 3 times in this direction. Feel free to do more. Good. And then letting them come to rest, feeling the weight in the arms, and then circle the other direction, rolling shoulders around. Good. And then just shake the arms out at your sides. You can lift them high, you can keep them lower, you can change positions, but vigorously shake those arms out and allow that shaking to begin to let the chest and torso have some shaking and rotation. And then a couple times, like you had lots of water on your arms and you wanted to fling that water off your fingertips. Just fling, shake the arms out. Noticing if the breath becomes a little bit more active. And then letting the arms come to rest. And just breathing in and out a few times. Now we're going to come to the torso. I want you to imagine bringing your ribs forward, like you're going to touch something in front of you, and then draw your ribs back, rounding the back like you're going to itch your back on a tree behind you. And then move the ribs forward and back a few times. Arching and curling the spine. You can play with, is it possible to slide your ribs side to side rather than front to back? We might just let them ripple side to side. And then circling the entire rib cage, like you were inside a tube and you wanted to touch the front, the side, the back, the other side of your ribs to the surface of that tube. And again, a few times in both directions. Good. And then letting the body come into stillness again. Noticing any changes in your breath or how alert or awake you might feel from when you started. And we'll move down to the hips. So let's take our feet at a wider stance, wider than hip width. You can let the toes comfortably turn out to where you feel stable. Then I'm going to invite you to take a small bend in your knees. The feet remain resting fully on the floor. This is not a big bend, but I want those knees to stay soft rather than locked for this whole next section of hip movements. So with the legs wider than hips, the knees gently bent, sway those hips side to side. If you're seated in the chair, you can just rock onto one buttocks and the next. If you're standing, imagine you had a big tail you were wagging side to side. Good. And then come to the center, and instead of side to side, tuck that imaginary tail between your legs. Think of if a puppy was sad and was pulling its tail under its legs. And then reverse that and reach your tailbone back behind you like a really happy puppy lifting its tail in the air. Again, if you're seated in the chair, you can just be rocking the pelvis forward and back. Really swing forward and swing back a few times. Good. And now we're going to take those hips and take them in a big circle to the left. If that tailbone had a little pen or pencil tip on it, could you draw a big circle on the floor beneath you? Knees stay both bent. The motion is coming from the hips. Change that direction, circling the other way. Allowing yourself to choose a tempo that feels enjoyable and somewhat invigorating. Could be slow one day, fast the next. Good. And then come back to the center and take a really fast side-to-side jiggle of the hips. Allow the thighs and the legs to have some movement and see if this jiggle can start to come through the whole body, like you were shaking the whole body out. Good. Get yourself in a position where you can stand on one leg, perhaps balancing by putting that same hand on a wall or on the top of a chair. Let's take our weight over our right leg and then lift the left leg up and really shake that leg out, like you shook your arms out a moment ago. Good. And then shift sides, standing on the left foot, using your left arm to create some stability against a wall or on a chair or table. And shake the right leg out. And then stand on both feet again and shake everything out. Fingertips, head, shoulders, ribs, hips, legs, thighs. And let it slow down. Find deep, full breaths in and out a few times. And if you have some music on and some time, I invite you to continue to dance, following the guidance of your body, inviting movement into all the small areas that you might not yet feel aware of. And if you need to end your practice, maybe just sitting for a minute or 2 minutes in a restful state. If you enjoyed this audio meditation of Shake It Up Baby, please like and subscribe to our page. We encourage you to try out some of the other audio meditations that you will find on our YouTube page.